Okay, so here we are, Pure Mathematics, Year 2, Edexcel, Chapter 1, Algebraic Methods, Question 7. It states, f of x is x plus 3 over x minus 1 minus 12 over x squared plus 2x minus 3. X is an element of the real number set, and x is greater than 1. Probably to stop the divide by 0 over here, which would mess things up. Show that f of x is equal to the quadratic x squared plus 3x plus 3 divided by x plus 3. So long and short of it is we've got to play around with all of this to make it look like this. Okay, don't worry too much about this bit. They're just being pedantic to make sure things like the 1 here wouldn't end up with a 0 on there, and divided by 0, of course, undefined. So just to make sure that that doesn't happen, they have put in these steps. Okay, so let's see what we can do. If we want to add and take away fractions, then we need to have some common denominators. But I think we should look at what the factors of this become. Okay, so 12 over, putting that into there, if we do 3 times minus 1, we should get that. So we can do x minus 1, x plus 3. That gives us the same quadratic when we multiply it out. You can then see that the x minus 1 is the same over here. So for this 3 over x1, we just need to do 3 times x plus 3 on the top, and the bottom can become x minus 1 times x plus 3. Okay, and then for the x over here, it will need to be multiplied by everything. So we have x times x minus 1, x plus 3, all over the x minus 1, x plus 3. Okay. Right, start multiplying it out and see what we get. So as we multiply out the first fraction here, okay, it's going to be this quadratic when we do the brackets. Okay, now multiplied by x, so that's x to the power 3 plus 2x squared minus 3x. Now multiplying out this one, so that's plus 3x plus 9, and now take away a 12, and that's all over the x minus 1, x plus 3. Okay, let's tidy this up, collect all of our like terms. Okay, so we've ended up with an x cubed term plus a 2x squared term. The x's have disappeared. 9 minus 12 is minus 3. Okay, all over x minus 1, x plus 3. Okay, what are we trying to get this to look like? Somewhere along the lines, the x plus 3 stays, but the x minus 1 at the bottom doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to look at trying to divide x minus 1 into this cubic. Okay, so just jumping out to the side here, I'm going to set up x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3, and I'm going to divide it by x minus 1 to see what it comes out as. Set it up like long division. Right, how many x's go into x cubed? Well, that would be x squared. Multiply down, x squared times x gives me x cubed. X squared times minus 1 is minus x squared. Okay, I need to do a takeaway on that, so that becomes a takeaway. This one becomes a plus, doing the change of signs. Okay. And so that becomes a 0. This becomes a 3x squared, and the minus 3 just comes down. Right, same again. How do I make an x into 3x squared? Well, I multiply it by 3x. 3x times x is 3x squared. Okay, and minus 1 times 3x is minus 3x. Okay, the minus 3 I should have really brought down over here in this direction. Okay, so that I left space for my coefficient of x rather than the one without it. Okay, so that's fine. As I do the takeaway on this, that becomes a takeaway, that becomes a plus, so that becomes a 0. Okay, this becomes a 3x, and this again comes down minus 3 in its correct place. And now hopefully you can see that x is into 3x goes 3, giving me 3x minus 3, and when I change the signs I get 0, 0. So coming back to the orange over here, I can say that x minus 1 is a factor, and I am left with an x squared plus 3x plus 3 all over x minus 1, x plus 3. And from that, I can cancel out the x minus 1's, and that leaves me finally with an f of x equal to x squared plus 3x plus 3 divided by x plus 3, which is the same as what they wanted in the question. So we are done. Okay.